Okay, so today we're going to unpack a viral video that raises some incredibly tough questions.
Stop.
Just give me a warning, please.
A warning? Look out the window. That's the police.
I won't do that again.
There's no warning.
I'm sorry for
Too late.
I won't do it. I won't
Too
do it.
late.
Please. I'm sorry for that. I won't do it again. I please just give me a warning. I'm
Too late.
sorry. I'm sorry for that.
Too late.
I didn't know the law. Please, I'm sorry. I'm really very sorry.
I think you've just been evicted as well.
Huh? Please, I'm sorry. I just give me the last warning, please. I know what. I really don't even if I'm sorry for that. I'm really very sorry for that. I didn't know it was illegal to talk to. I'm really very sorry for that. I'm really very sorry for everything.
Give me a second.
It's a story about an international student, a pretty controversial sting operation, and the kind of life-altering consequences that followed. So the whole thing really kicked off and exploded onto social media on January 6, 2024. This video clip started making the rounds, and it showed a young man in a state of just absolute desperation. It went viral, fast, and left pretty much everyone wondering what on earth is going on here. In the clip, you can hear him, clear as day, just pleading for a second chance, apologizing over and over. But for what? Now here's the thing. This scene, this isn't the beginning of the story. It's actually the very end. To really get what's happening, we've got to go all the way back. All right, so who is the young man at the center of this whole firestorm? Let's take a look at what we know about him. So his name is Jitesh Garat. He's 21 years old, an Indian national who came over to the United Kingdom on a study visa back in September 2025. You know, he was just a few months into his new life, studying at Coventry University, which is a really popular spot for international students. Okay, but this is where the story takes a turn, because what's really interesting here is how this whole situation was engineered. I mean, this wasn't some random chance encounter. No, this was a meticulously planned sting operation. It all got started around the Christmas holiday. Jitesh connected with a social media profile, and during their chats, the person on the other end straight up told him she was very young. He kept the conversation going, having no idea who he was really talking to. Yeah, he was actually talking to a decoy. This is a tactic that some citizen vigilante groups use. They create these fake online profiles to target and then publicly expose people they suspect are trying to groom and meet up with minors. And these groups, they have a system, a playbook really. It follows a pretty clear 6-step plan. First, they create the fake profile and get a target talking. Then, and this is crucial, they make sure the decoy's supposed young age is stated very clearly. If the target still tries to set up a meeting, the group moves in for the confrontation, filming the whole thing. And the final step? They call the police. So, this brings us to the day of that planned meeting. This is where the online operation spills out into the real world, leading to that viral video and some truly severe repercussions. Jitesh shows up to the location, thinking he's about to meet the girl from the internet. But instead, he's met by several members of this vigilante group, and their cameras are already rolling. This is the exact moment that confrontation we saw at the start really began. And from there, this situation just escalated fast. The group had already called law enforcement, who showed up, arrested Jitesh right there at the scene, and took him into police custody. Now, you have to understand something about UK law here. This is absolutely key. Attempting to meet a child after this kind of online communication is a serious, serious crime. And just saying you didn't know the law, that is not a valid defense. And the potential penalties, wow, they're just life-shattering. If he's convicted, Jitesh could be looking at a long prison sentence, immediate deportation, and being put on a sex offender registry. Not only that, but a 10-year ban from even entering the UK, and the complete loss of the more than $25,000 his family had invested in his education. Just gone. So, as you can probably guess, this didn't just end with an arrest. The fact that the video went viral just threw gasoline on the fire, and it kicked off this huge, fierce debate online about justice, vigilantism, and who's responsible. So on one side, you have supporters of the group who argue they're protecting children where the system is failing. But on the other side, critics are saying their methods totally cross the line into public shaming. They've been accused of going way too far, and in this case, of using racially charged language by repeatedly yelling about him being an Indian student. Critics say that just shifts the focus from the alleged crime to his nationality. So, what was the official response? Well, the Indian High Commission came out with a statement, and it was pretty direct. They said this is a private legal matter and that, quote, the law of the land, meaning the UK justice system, is going to handle it. They've basically distanced themselves from the whole thing. At the end of the day, this whole incident really serves as this powerful and honestly pretty scary cautionary tale. It's a huge warning that the reality for students studying abroad can be harsh and unforgiving. A reminder for students and their families to be seriously aware of the major legal and cultural differences they're going to face. And all of this leaves us with one final, really challenging question that gets right to the heart of this entire incident. Where do we draw the line? When does a mission to protect kids become a public spectacle? It's a question about methods, about accountability, and the very nature of justice in our digital age. And it's definitely something worth thinking about long after this is over.